Hey there nation, welcome to the show. We help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and today, what I think I'll be talking about today is our latest episode of Warhammer Weekly by Venturella. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Basically, he was asking us what was our very first army when it came to Warhammer and to wargaming and how we still fell in love with it, do we still use it. And I decided today I was going to show you guys my High Elf army that I have. And the reason why that is the case is because this pretty much defines the very first army I've ever had, and it was the very first army I fell in love with. I played throughout all the various editions of Warhammer. In fact, this particular collection in particular actually has a lot of miniatures spread throughout the entirety compendium, I guess, of the different editions of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. And so we're going to talk about my collection real quick and talk about what I used and why I love it and do I still use it. So as you can see here, this is a High Elf army. It's a collection of different Warhammer miniatures from the line of High Elves. Starting from, I think, the mid-90s. I think it was like 1994, 1995 is when I got involved. What happened was that I got a gift for my birthday. It was Battle Masters. That was the game that was made in conjunction with Games Workshop and Milton Bradley. And it was kind of like the gateway game that kind of led to Warhammer. There was some free literature that came with it. And they were talking about some of the things you can get from Games Workshop, some flyers and some advertisements about their other line of games. And so I signed up for it, and that's how I learned about Warhammer. In fact, if we were to go over here to the other side of my studio here, my office, if you actually look back there, there's the actual poster from way back when that actually came with the board game. So let's go ahead and talk about the individual units real fast and kind of zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so starting from back over here, as you can see here, these are some repeater bolt throwers. I think this comes from the 4th edition of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So you can see there we still have the repeater bolt throwers. I have 3 of them in my army, so that kind of shows you the collection that I also had. If you kind of scoot over here, we have the original set of archers, as well as command groups that came from that 4th edition of Warhammer as well. That's co-located right over there. If you scoot over here, we also have the spearmen that came in that box. It was the box that was originally was Goblins versus High Elves. So you can see there I have a lot of spearmen as well as command groups located in those miniatures as well. And say they have command groups. At the same time, the Battle Standard Bearer, which is this guy right here, he's from the latest edition of Warhammer 8th edition before they decided to switch to Age of Sigmar. So that's the Battle Standard Bearer. That came part of the Battle Standard High Elf Prince kit. Same thing with the dragon over here. Now this dragon actually didn't come from Warhammer Fantasy Battle. It actually came from a game that Games Workshop used to have called Talisman, which is kind of like Hero Quest, kind of like a Warhammer Quest type game. And the reason why I have this dragon is because a lot of people owned this dragon back in the day because the dragon models were so expensive. For the same cost, you can get that Talisman game for like 40 or 30 bucks, 30 or 40 bucks, and because of that, you get to get the dragon model. And so, on the very top there, you can see there's another High Elf Prince who is supposed to be mounted. I got that from the 8th edition of Warhammer as well. So you see there's some more archers over here in the later edition. And then I also have some cavalry models. These guys are Illyrian Reavers. I think they were from the 5th edition of Warhammer. That was the one where the Lizardmen and the Bretonnians were the starting armies. Same thing with this Chariot, as well as these Silverhelm Knights as well. I got some of those guys from that edition of Warhammer. Same thing with the Silverhelm Knights over here. As you can see here, I also got the original Tyrion model, but I didn't like the way his horse looked in the original Tyrion model, so I put him on the new 8th edition High Elf Prince horse to make him look kind of cool that way. Over here on the left-hand side, this is when I realized that buying Games Workshop miniatures is super expensive, and so I went with these really cheap Ralpartha High Elf swordsmen. And I used them the proxy for my Swordmasters of Hoeth. And you can see that there's the original 4th edition sculpt for Teclis. So that's where I have that character located at. And then of course over here I have a unit of White Lions. Now the very two front guys here, those guys were the original 4th edition sculpts. Then I have some of the later edition sculpts from the 5th edition, or is it the 6th edition of Warhammer? I forgot which one it was. It might have been 7th. So I got some of the newer White Lions located there as well. So yeah, that pretty much makes up my entire collection. This is my very first army I ever had for Warhammer. It's also the very first army I ever painted up. Kind of played it just because, it was the very first army that came with the box set, so I figured why not. I liked the way the miniatures looked at the time. I thought they were cool. I was 12, so I thought they were pretty awesome looking. And I kept that army. I really haven't gotten rid of any armies that I've ever played. I just keep it. I never know. Maybe I might want to go back to one day or whatever. We have a lot of variety in my gaming groups, so we go between armies all the time, and so we just kind of keep it from there. So yeah. All right. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for this one. This is my very first army, and I still love it like I did back when I was 12. All right, you guys. Once again, thank you again for, once again, feel free to subscribe, like, comment. Thank you, Vince, for putting up this topic. It kind of brought me back, brought me back to the day. And it was really fun making this video about it. So, yeah, you guys take it easy.